Namaste. Let us observe one simple experiment today. So, in this experiment, I am going to take a half filled glass of water and one marker pen. So, what I am going to do is simply I am going to put this pen inside the glass of water. So, can you see it properly? The apparent position and actual position of the pen is changed. Externally, it looks like in one shape, and when you put it inside the glass of water, half filled glass of water, it looks like with a thick shape, right? And even at the edge part, at the edge of the shape, you can also see the broken part. So a little bit it is broken. It looks like it is little bit broken. So this variation, this change which is observed here, it is going to happen in nature also. When you observe the rainbow, when you observe the fish inside the water, its actual position and apparent position, something it will be different. And even when you put some coins or stones inside the water, it looks like it is coming upward. Okay, so all this variation which is going to take place in nature, so that is because of the one of the important concept, that is refraction. You already know that when a light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, when a light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, it is going to change its direction. So in this situation, it is not coming in straight path, it is going to change its direction. This variation is going to take place, that is because of the concept refraction. And reflection can be seen in a plane mirror. When you put this pen in front of a mirror, so simply it is going to reflect the image of this pen. And even when you put the torch in front of a plane mirror, it is going to come back in the same direction. That is called reflection. But in case of a refraction, when a light is entering from one medium to the another medium, in this example, the light is entering from air to the water medium, right? So here it is going to change its direction. So because of that factor, the process is going to happen, that is called as a refraction. And in today's class, let's discuss what are the laws of the refraction. So for that purpose, observe this diagram properly. So in this diagram, I am going to take one ray, light ray, that is called as the incident ray. Okay, and when this light ray, it is moving from air to the water or air to the glass medium, so always it is going to change its direction. It is supposed to be come in straight path. So because of the refraction pattern, it is going to change its direction, and when it is going to change its direction, it makes some angle, and that angle is measured by taking this imaginary line, and this line is called as a normal. The angle measured from normal to the incident ray, this is called angle of incidence, and the angle measured from normal to the refracted ray, it is called refracted, not reflected. Reflected ray is only observed in the plane mirror, right? So this angle which is made between the normal and refracted ray is called angle of refraction. Okay, and as usual, this process is called as the refraction process. So now let's discuss what are the laws of the refraction. The first law says that the incident ray, normal and refracted ray all lie in the same plane. Very simple. This is the incident ray and this is what the normal and refracted ray. Incident ray, normal and refracted ray all lie in the same plane. Okay, so all they are going to look like they are in the same plane. So this is called first law of refraction. And second law of refraction says that the ratio of, okay, this is what the ratio of sine of angle of incidence, already I told you, this is called angle of incidence. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence. In mathematics you learnt sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, like this type you learnt some concepts, right? So generally sine theta means the opposite side divided by hypotenuse, right? So in this situation also, the sine of this angle, opposite side by hypotenuse, okay, you can imagine or you can remember that formula. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant for a given pair of media. That means when you take the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence, for example 30 degree, 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, whatever you can take, this ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. So this is called the second law of refraction, or it is also called as Snell's law. So generally in main examination they will ask you define Snell's law directly. So at that time you can write this definition. Okay. So this is what about the two important laws of the refraction. So using this concept, we will discuss one more concept today, that is called refractive index. Generally, this is indicated by the letter small n. So already I told you the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant. This constant is also called as a refractive index, or you can also say it in some other definition. I will tell you one simple example. Suppose the light is traveling in the vacuum, the solar radiation or sunlight, it is coming from so much amount of distance and it is approaching the earth, right? So when the light is traveling in vacuum, it moves with a velocity of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. But the same velocity is not maintained when the light is entering the water or when the light is entering the glass or any type of a medium. It is going to decrease its speed. Very simply I will tell you, if you are pedaling the bicycle on a flat surface road, on a tar road, you move very fastly. But when you pedal the same bicycle inside the sand filled any surface or in any type of a rough surface, you are not supposed to maintain the same velocity or same speed. The variation is going to happen there. Same variation is going to happen for light also. When the light is traveling in vacuum, it moves with the velocity of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. But when the same light, it enters the water medium or glass medium, it is not able to maintain that speed. So that variation is going to create one important factor or important phenomena, that is called as the refractive index. I will tell you the ratio of the speed of light in vacuum. This is indicated by the letter C. Already I told you this is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second generally. And to the speed of light in any medium, you can take any medium, glass medium, water medium, kerosene, petrol, diesel, anything you can take. So this ratio of speed of light in air or vacuum to the speed of light in any medium, this ratio is called as a refractive index. Okay. And this refractive index is not having any type of SI unit, because both of the situation meter per second SI unit will come and both of them cancel together. So that's why there is no SI unit for the refractive index. Okay. I will tell you some examples also. The refractive index of water is generally 1.33, that's all, no SI unit, already I told you. And the refractive index of a glass, plain glass, will be about 1.5, and the refractive index of diamond is maximum, and that is about 2.42. Okay, so these are what some of the examples for refractive index. So many times they asked this question, define refractive index and write its formula, and also write its dependent factors also they will ask you. This refractive is going to depend upon these factors. Number one, it depends on the nature of medium, which medium it is entering. Whether it is entering the water medium or whether it is entering the glass medium, it depends upon the nature of medium, that will decide this number. Okay. And also it depends upon the surrounding medium also. Surrounding medium means the air is present or how much density it is having or fog is present. It also depends upon the surrounding medium also. And third factor, it depends upon the wavelength of light used, which type of light you are using, because every color of light is having its own wavelength. Red is having different wavelength, the solar light is having different wavelength. It also depends upon the wavelength of light. When the wavelength changes, the refractive index number also changes. And fourth thing is, it depends upon the temperature also, how much temperature the atmosphere is. So that's why these are the factors depending on the refractive index. So this is what the brief discussion about the concept, the laws of refraction and refractive index and its dependence factors. Thank you.